bring our money back. My elite. We want our money back. That's so fucking years ago. Stealing for 100 people. All our name contract of that who we carry complete. Continue one for free. We're all our political. That kind of story my people will listen to. So they're not going to the school. You're in the 60 billion. Black people fall out in the street. Bring the 60 billion. Paper people in the green. Bring the 60 billion. Musicians say not being the 60. Bring the 60 billion. We want a 60 billion. So they can have the road. We want a 60 billion for people in Lobato. We want a 60 billion. See you. Russia killing people. That's why it's not a show. I'm fucking Jaraco. My elite. So we are. Bring our money back. My elite. So we are. We want our money back. My elite. So we are. Bring our money back. My elite. So we are. We want our money back. Trying for culture where I was 60 billion. That's on that any bonnet to pay with the 60 billion. Now they are telling me this stuff for the 60 billion. They are can't tell us we not get no 60 billion. Now make it fun. Go up and me fun at 60 billion. Go up for the meme. Stop on me comment. Go up for security. The flying will continue. My elite. So we are. Bring our money back. My elite. So we are. We want our money back. My elite. So we are. Bring our money back. My elite. So we are. We want our money back. Yeah. MC Carol. I'm saying bring our money back. Stylish individual.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, men and women. Welcome to Tony Commander Galpohkpa Chesson Talk Show. Today is July the 26th, 27. Sorry. I'm still thinking about yesterday. I'm still caught up in yesterday. Why? Why am I still caught up in yesterday? Because it signified a reason why we need to free Liberia. It signified a reason why we need to rise up and change the direction of our country. For too long now, we've been on this path. For too long, we've been on this trail that has yielded us nothing. Nothing. I listened to George Noble this morning, and he made a lot of sense. Some of the same things we've been saying. Who's to blame? Everything the Congo people. The Congo people saying the country people. But we gotta face the realities of both of our worlds and look at the truth. And both of us have wronged our peoples. Both of us have betrayed Liberia. And the time for the shenanigans, the time for their foolishness to cease and desist is now. Look at our country. What can you say of Liberia today? Amid all the buildings and fine things you can see from far away, the reality of the situation is our people starving. Our people starving. Every time I look at that Indian man who was a former Indian consulate to Liberia or something, Jetty, serving our people food, it hurts me because there's no need for that. Well, anybody can feed Liberian people who want to feed them. It's a free thing. Anybody comes and see the struggling in the area, in our country, can assist. But that's not the duty of foreigners. That's not the duty of foreigners. That's the duty of our own selves to take care of our people. When you see people feeding our people and you're proud of it, that's a problem. That's a problem. And no matter how much we thank Jetty or whoever doing these things in Liberia, feeding our people, standing up, giving them food by hands, we're supposed to be doing that. That's our duty, not foreigner duty. Although somebody got to help, but not my duty to perpetuate that kind of thing. No. When I see that, it hurts me. Because when I cannot feed myself, there is a serious problem. There is a serious problem in my country. When the masses of my people cannot feed themselves, and we got to stand in line for foreigner to feed us, and this is not once. Jerry has done this about 2 or 3 times. And every time I see it, my heart breaks. I feel like a glass shatter in my heart. Not because he's Indian, even if you're Lebanese, even if you're an American, the time for that has come to the end. Maybe we used to see American people giving us handout, and it's different to see Indians and other people doing it. But it hurts. In this day and age, when we can sit in America and see how Americans take care of Americans, and we look to Liberia, we see foreigners coming in, and our leaders stealing, building tombs, buying gold caskets, and foreigners feeding our children. That is a serious problem. That is a problem. And maybe Henry Casa then can see this. Because you are saying some people, he was saying on his show this morning, some people not grateful and all that kind of thing. It's not a matter of being grateful. It's a matter of seeing our sovereignty eroded or eroding before our very eyes. How can we say we're free people when our leaders have no priorities? They have no priorities for our government. All their priorities are selfish, greed-filled, and evil. So how can you deal with these kind of people? How can you sit and see a foreigner feeding my people and my leaders using our money to build tombs and buy caskets of gold while our people are starving and foreigners got to come and feed our people? That's a stinking shame, Costa. That's a stinking shame. And instead of thanking that Indian man, we should be going after our leaders. We should be bringing these people down to the ground. But when we ourselves lost our priorities, what can we say? We lost our priorities because Costa got a show. While we sit on his show and perpetuate foreigners feeding our children and thanking them. I'm mad. I'm mad. I want to thank him, but I'm so mad at my government. I'm so ashamed and disgusted in my government. How can I thank Mr. Jetty? It's hard for me to thank him because I want to flog my leaders. I want to flog my leaders for neglecting our people. I want to flog my leaders for their greed and selfishness. And we perpetuate these things all the time. This thing been going on since 1822 to this very day. We betray our people. Our leaders betray us because of their blindness, because of their failures to see that we are the caretakers of our people. We are our brother's keepers. When you are a leader, you are your brother's keeper. Because we expect that you have certain level of wisdom and insight and understanding that is beyond the rest of the common people. And that we will look at you as one of those amongst those to whom much is given. Because whether you're educated or not, when you are elected to a position, you are blessed. Because many are called. You are one of the few that are chosen. So why would you get in that position that you neglect your duties and responsibilities that you know quite well you are supposed to carry out? But you are more in it for me. Because everybody around you the same way. So you got to fall in suit and be like that. And that's why killing our country. But before I begin my lesson, let me just touch on some few things. Today will be a sunny day, just like yesterday. Although we had a little shower in the evening hours, unexpected. But we hope today will be a much better day without any rainfall or showers. So you should have a nice day, sunny day, high temperature day. Just make sure you go into the beach, you carry your sunscreen and all what you need to protect yourself from the sun. Okay? Those of you walking around in the city and wherever, you got to protect yourselves too. Okay? At least you had the chance to dot in the other stores or wherever you are, downtown or wherever. Okay? But just be careful, watch the sun, take care of yourself. For my Liberian people, you all know we got the Johnson & Johnson vaccines in Liberia now. Some reports say they will start vaccinating people in August on the 5th, will be the beginning. And they want you to know that this is the Johnson & Johnson. This is the one shot, not two shots. So if you have taken the AstraZeneca that requires two shots, do not go take this vaccine. You will die. Okay? You will die. So you not take one already, the AstraZeneca, wait. That won't come in. The second dose for that won't come in. This one is for people who never taken any vaccine yet. This is the one dose. You're not taking two doses. One dose. So you people who haven't registered for the vaccine now, register and take your one dose and you be done. Okay? The AstraZeneca people, don't take that vaccine. Your vaccine coming. Wait. Okay? AstraZeneca people, if you have taken one vaccine, don't take the Johnson & Johnson. I repeat, the people who took the first vaccine of the AstraZeneca, do not take the Johnson & Johnson. AstraZeneca is a 2-dose medication. Johnson & Johnson is a one-shot medication. You do not want to take the one-shot medication if you took the first shot of the AstraZeneca. Wait. Take heed and govern yourselves accordingly. Do not go there. Okay? If you people on the internet, my fellow Liberians who can speak in dialects, go out there, speak to the people. Make sure they understand that if they have taken the AstraZeneca, they cannot take the Johnson & Johnson. They should wait. Okay? This one for people who haven't taken no vaccine. Spread the news. Let our people stay alive and stay alive. Okay? What else? We know that COVID is raging hell in America too. And it's mainly among those who have not taken the vaccine. We don't want the same thing to happen in Liberia. You all know we have no health care. We have no good hospital with beds. Everything is limited. Take heed and govern yourselves accordingly. Okay? Let me start my lesson. My first lesson is Liberia a failed nation. 2, when my lesson come around, where is the unity among Liberian people? 3, how deep is the Congau-Country divide? Let me start with my first lesson. Is Liberia a failed nation? I was listening to Spoon Radio this morning too, Spoon TV. And Dr. Peabody, after listening to Keith Hassan and Ben Savvy and Stanton Peabody, Dr. Stanton came on and said, Dr. Peabody came on and said, Liberia is a failed nation. Liberia is a failed nation. Our leaders have let us down. The stealing is we're out of control. We're out of control. The incompetence, not far behind. Who loves Liberia? Who cares about Liberia in Liberia today? I mean, it's terrible. It's terrible. Our leaders, they make laws and they violate their own laws. You know, you say people shouldn't gather in above certain number. You arrest people for it. You close people's funeral home down for it. Then when it's your turn, you take no precaution. Then you say it's public. It's not public. In big countries, when people want things private, they let people know in the public that it's private. And only certain people admit it. And they close everything. They do it in a closed area. And again, man, the excuses our leaders give for doing these things are so asinine, are so immature and stupid. Only fools will fall for this kind of thing. It ain't got nothing to do with religion. Only a fool will fall for this thing because Jesus Christ will not fall for this thing. So if you following Jesus and you fall for this nonsense that McGill did the other day, you fall for the nonsense of George Weah and his government, you fall for the nonsense of Ellen Johnson Sirleaf and her children. This is what got our country where it is. Because nobody knows what you're talking about. When I read that thing that McGill said, he loved his mom, so he depended on the thing. I want to go there and kick that guy in the gonads. I just want to tear him apart. My people suffering. Foreigners feeding Liberian people. And you building a tomb. You buying a golden casket to your mother. And you telling me, in the midst of all the sufferings around my people, in the midst of all the hunger, in the midst of all the sufferings, you telling me that you won't honor your mom, so you steal our money to build a tomb in the golden casket? You will have to jail me. Because before I think my foot will be in that man's golden ass, right between his loins, and it will not move, it will just stick there. Boom! And you hear him yelling, ah! But it will not move. It will just stick there. Because you can't tell me that kind of stupidness. I see foreigners feeding Liberian children. And you come and tell me you want to honor your father and mother. What about our children? You don't honor our children? You need to be kicked in the gonads. These people need to be removed now. How can we tolerate this kind of thing in the name of the Holy Bible? In the name of the 10 Commandments. You build your mom a tomb and foreigners feeding Liberian children. And Costa telling me I should be thankful to the Indian man because of that. That's why I want to put all of you together and kick you in the gonads. All of you think you got power. You hear Costa talking, oh, I spoke with McGill yesterday and I talked with him for this person. Where all this show of power for? Why is all this show of power in our country? You get no damn way. And you're just deceitful. You're coming and sit here and talk BS. I just want to put you together and kick all of you in the gonads one by one. Just rotate you. Just rotate you and leave my boots there. Put on new boots. Put it in the Liberian there. Put my... What kind of wickedness is this? All of you are wicked. Because in your ignorance, you talk BS. In your ignorance, you think you're smart. But yet we sit here and see these people in the midst of poverty and suffering of the Liberian people. Foreigners coming to feed my people. And the leaders building tombs and buying caskets of gold. Have you people lost your mind? Have Liberian people gone nuts? Something got to be wrong with y'all. Something got to be wrong with y'all. Something got to be wrong with y'all. They cast out all of y'all. Something wrong with y'all. That's why I don't join no group. That's why I don't join nobody. I stay away and watch you. Because I want to see who got sense in Liberia. Who loves Liberia? Who is a Liberian patriot? I want to see it. And I haven't seen them on you young children yet. Because you talk a lot of bullshit and have nothing to back it. You know every damn thing and know nothing. Know nothing. You're idiots. And you got to get your shit together. A foreigner feeding my people. A government official building a tomb with a gold casket. And you Liberian people sitting out there acting like dummies and debating this shit. Is this something to debate? Y'all should be rising up now and getting rid of George Weah. There should be no debate about this thing. There should be no conversation about this uselessness. This is evil. Where have we seen this kind of evil? Excuse me. Where have we seen this kind of evil in my country? And this dummy come talking about the 5th commandment. I got 5 toes. It would have been in his gonads. That's the 5 commandments you're talking about. Right in my boots. Right here, gonads in his loins. I will put it there. Oh Lord, I will put it there. I will put it there. That will be a 5 commandments. and he want 10, I would jump in the air and put the other 10 there, the other 5 there. He would have the 10 commandments. Because that's what Jesus said he deserved. 5 toes in the gonads. Let that idiot called McGill drop to the ground. Let him drop to the ground. Then we handcuff him and flog him right there. This is the reason why Jesus Christ beat the people in the temple. This is why he did that. Because these kind of things drive you crazy. This is so insane that any patriot like me will go nuts. I'm a real patriot. I'm not a lukewarm patriot. I'm a real patriot. I'm not in the thing for myself. I'm in the thing for my country. I'm in the thing for my country. Not even some Liberian people. I'm not here for some of y'all because some of y'all are useless. I'm here for the true patriots who believe like I believe. That we cannot have foreigners feeding our people and our leaders, building tombs and buying caskets of gold. This is insanity. Pure insanity. So when they tell me our nation is a failing nation, a failed nation, how can I say no? I want to do is perpetrating the same ideal. That Liberia is a failed nation. Our leaders from Ellen Johnson Sirleaf to the day have failed us so miserably, we might as well go back into another civil war. We might as well. But Jesus doesn't want us to. But we might as well. Because Ellen Johnson Sirleaf in her ignorance and dumb, useless, feminine thinking brought her children into our power over our country. After killing our fathers for nepotism and corruption, and she comes and does the same thing worse than Torba ever did. Pour 3 sons in our government, bring her grandson to teach the dummies like Prince Johnson in the legislature about oil. I bet you Prince Johnson was just sitting there laughing. Ellen done it. Ellen done it. Ellen done it. Nima people. Nima. That damn dummy Prince Johnson. Nima people. A groupie. That other useless groupie from Massachusetts that used to be here running around talking about he's selling insurance. That other useless fool be sitting there drinking soft drink in the legislature with liquor in it, talking about his lawmaker, sleeping, drooling all on the desk. You know, these people here, they make you shame. They slave in America here, but when they go to Liberia, they become so dysfunctional, so ignorant. That's why we need people to fuck these people. We need people to bring these people back to their senses and let them know we got need for responsibilities in Liberia too. We got need for disciplined people in Liberia too. We got need for people who will do their jobs in Liberia too. And we keep relenting. We keep feeling. And our people feeling. Our nation feeling. You know, I would come from a war situation, all of this, and we haven't changed the lives of our people yet. We haven't tried to lift them up at all. All we do is exploit them, rob them, take whatever they have for us. Because in their blindness, they're still running behind one man instead of principles and doctrines and ideals. They're still running behind one man, calling him a country giant, praising him. We can't go on like this. This is a challenge for every Liberian because our country is a failed nation. There is no way we can look around and see anything to accept otherwise than the fact. And for those of us who love Liberia, for those of us who say we are patriots, we stand for truth and justice. We stand for law and order. We stand for right instead of wrong. We cannot deny the fact that our country is a failed state. Just for the mere fact over the weekend, for what we saw, display of opulence, of stolen wealth. Display of opulence, of stolen wealth. That's what Ellen Johnson was scared of. Ellen Johnson was scared of it. Ellen Johnson said she was scared of it. That was she was telling people, you stop displaying this opulence. What all the opulence for? And you ain't got no money. You come from abject poverty. And why are you displaying all this opulence for? Breaking champagne over cars and doing all kind of useless thing in the presence of the people. To show what? That your God, how the hell you will have when you never have? How the hell you will have something when you never had anything? And you'll come to prominence in government before you can show your wealth. You don't own nothing. You don't own nothing, guys, niggas. You don't own nothing. And somebody got to pay the price. Somebody got to be blamed. We got to look for blame. Yes, we have to look for blame because after nearly 200 years, after a military coup, killing of our leaders, after a civil war where 15,000 or 15,000 of our people died. 250,000, sorry. Let me get that. That's why I had to stop. When I thought about 15,000, I said, no, this figure ain't right. Where 250,000 people died, lost their lives on bullshit, lost their lives on foolishness. Then we come back and do the same thing. That shows how far back this war threw us, man. How far back our own ignorance put us. Excuse my ear itching. How far back? How far back other people put us to because of our own ignorance, because of our own greed, because of our own corruption. Kill our leaders. Talk about indigenous people rising to the top. Now here we are today. Our country more divided than ever before. Our people have no sense of unity. Our wealth stolen with total impunity. No disregard for law or order. And here we are. Here we are. Here we are. Wondering whether we should free Liberia. That's the same thing they were talking on Spoon TV today. Yeah, last night. Whether they should free Liberia. Spoon were talking there. Stanton Weatherspoon were talking there. Peabody were talking there. So this is the extent to which our nation has been destroyed and damaged and needs repair. There is no way that we can dodge the question. There's no way we can dodge it. There's no way. Is Liberia a failed nation? Yes. Yes. We can't feed our people. We can't clothe our people. We can't educate our people. We can't protect our people. This has been going on since Hector was a pup. Now Hector is a damn old rusted dog with crust all over the chest, ready to die. And nothing ain't changed. We still, it's worse. It's worse. It's worse. It gotta be worse. We never had our leaders building tomb before, honoring the dead, like the way they're honoring the dead. Is that a reasonable thing this man did? Air conditioning in the tomb. Was a man that great to our nation that she gotta get that honor that presidents never got in our country? That the most honored in our country never got? But man, what got it? Is it, as Prophet King said, this place is a shrine to Juju? Because it gotta be to something. Why would our leader, in the midst of the suffering and hunger of our people, build a tomb and buy a grave coffin to impress who? Moses, the fifth commandment, or who? You're not pleasing God. God is with the people. So when you take God's gift to the people and use it for your personal self, how are you benefiting the nation by the commandments of God? Then we wonder why our country is suffering, why our country is dying, because the leaders we got. Y'all know, all of y'all like this Christian business in Liberia, y'all know if a servant of God betrays himself, he got to be punished by the Holy Spirit. So, all these shenanigans of We Are and Twitter and all these people, man, all these people that think they're betraying us and they're betraying themselves because they can't betray us. God is with us. And in the end, we'll succeed. But we got to come to our senses. We got to come to our leadership abilities, competence. We got to rise up to that standard. And we got to pray to get there. We can't do it on our own. We cannot do it on our own. We need divine help. And divine help got to be without greed. We got to be without selfishness. We need help. Our minds are screwed up. Our ideals are screwed up. Our practices are screwed up. Our leadership is screwed up. Listen to Spoon TV last night. They're talking the same thing. Because I've been telling them, you can't change the wine and put it in old bottle. You can't put new wine in old bottle. You can't do that. Okay, you can't do that. It will not bring that out that effervescence, that freshness of the wine. It will not. And time again, we fail on following the Bible, on following the same Bible. There are many teachings in the Bible. Somebody pointed it out during the Spoon TV too. Just as somebody said, just as this man said, honor thy father and thy mother is the fifth. The ninth, 8 or 9 Testament said, thou shalt not steal. Well, that's why I said maybe he read up to the 5th commandment and got excited and didn't read the rest of the commandments. So he just stopped at the 5th commandment, because when he saw honor to your father and your mother, he didn't have enough money. So he said, well, let me take some time to steal, to build up my coffers, to honor my mom the way I want to honor her, gold casket and tomb and all of that. So he forgot about the rest of the testaments and just focused on the 5th, from 1 to 5. But the rest say, thou shalt not steal, thou shalt not kill. Parents, don't provoke your children. Did my water provoke Nathaniel McGill? Because we have to understand the 10 Commandments. We got to understand it in its entirety. Just as we are to honor our parents, that God said our parents must not provoke us. How do you provoke us? How would our parents provoke us? Certainly, my parents will provoke me if they tell me to do wrong, and I know it's wrong. They tell me to hurt other people, and I know it's wrong. But because of my mom and pa, I hurt other people. They tell me to hate other people, and I know it's wrong. But because of my mom and pa, I hurt other people. These are the things that our parents do to us that anger us. Those that are Christians. Just as our parents are Christians and follow the 10 Commandments, so too are we Christians and follow the 10 Commandments. So when you come to tell me honor my father and mother, and I see that my father and mother are telling me things that are unchristian, that are uncivilized, that are bad to other Liberian people, and she telling me to do it or he telling me to do it, and I say no. Am I disobeying them? Am I dishonoring them? That's why we got to understand our 10 Commandments. We got to understand our biblical teachings. If you don't understand it, you'll be totally confused. Because there are rules that apply to us to protect and honor our parents, and there are rules that our parents have that they shouldn't do to make us angry. Because the Bible is great. It is so great, there are so many teachings. And if you don't understand how to apply the teachings, this one, hatred and wickedness and bad teachings come in. Because of the greatness of the Bible, the vast teachings, we tend to take selective teachings when we want to do things. Okay? Just as they say, honor thy father and thy mother, that thy days may be long upon the earth. The Bible put restrictions on parents too. Parents, don't provoke your children. How would you provoke me? How would my parents provoke me when they try to lead me astray from what is right? When they try to turn my mind away from God to believe in something else that they believe in, and I know it's not right. Do I follow them? Do I stick to my faith and disrespect them and tell them to go to hell? These are the questions that are posed to Christians that make us men of substance or men of ignorance. These are the things that are posed to us. And that's why the challenge of Christianity is so great. Because they're telling us, honor thy father and thy mother, that thy days may be long upon the earth. Then they're telling our parents, don't provoke your children. Then Jesus said unto us, If your right hand offend you, cut it off. Your left hand offend you, cut it off. Honor nobody else but God. Follow no other gods but God. So you see the responsibilities of the Bible, the responsibilities of our parents, the responsibilities of the government. These are various responsibilities. If you don't understand where you stand in your faith, you will fail time and time again. Because when you are a kid, you do the things that children do. When you become a man, you put the things aside of children and you stand like a man. So if you understand these teachings of the Bible, you understand that we have only two teachings. And Jesus Christ broke them down so simple that you can't be wrong. You cannot be wrong. Love thy God with all thy heart and with all thy soul and with all thy spirit. You know if your God is a 3-in-1, if your God is Jesus Christ, you cannot change to go to Adona or Sumunyaya. You cannot change because your God has rules. Place no other gods before me. That's the rule of your God. And if you're willing to suffer to show your God that you are sincere to your faith, all things will be rendered unto you. Because you cannot say you're following a God and you can't stand the challenge. So everybody faces challenge. Everybody, you got a challenge to face. And depends on your heart. It's how your challenge is put before you. If you got a good heart, ab initio in the beginning, your task or punishment may be simple. If you have a greedy heart, your punishment will be harder. If you have an evil heart, which is to take blood of other people, and you want to be forgiven, I can tell you what punishment God will give you. I can't tell you whether it be easy or hard. But I know all of us are judged on our own standards. We are judged on our own standards. And even some of the standards that we are judged on morally or on our divine principles, so too are we judged on those same principles on our law. That's why in the law you have extenuating and mitigating circumstances under equity. All these things come into play where the law can have sympathy too. The law can look at circumstances and say, no, this is the law, but these are other circumstances that will lessen the law or punishment. The application of the law, it will slow it down. So everything comes under rules and regulations. And when we lose those rules and regulations, we lose ourselves and our nation. And that's when we say our country is a failed nation. Because we have no rules right now. We have no regulation right now. We don't. We got 3 or 4 people ruling the whole Republic of Liberia. This is asinine. This is asinine. And they still can't rule Liberia good because they don't know nothing. They don't know nothing ab initio. How will they change Liberia? Nobody can tell them anything because in the end, they got to make the final decision. And whatever decision they make fall on whoever gave them the advice they follow. And everybody will protect their own interests. So no matter how much an educated man may want to change and do the right thing, he always got to think about his position, him losing power, his best interest. And that will always take precedence over everything else. Do you want to give the thing to the educated people so much that you lose your own significance? That even though you're the president, they can tell you to do things and you don't do it, you fall in the back? No, nobody want that. And that's why that's where the ignorant man started to kill the educated man. Because the educated man will always feel that he knows better and wants to lead. And you can't do that with everybody. And these are the things that bring our nation down to its knees. Uneducated people cannot rule Liberia. You can't say the president will be educated and the people around him will be smart. That's a threat to the uneducated man. It's a serious threat to him. Because at some time the educated people will want to direct the right way and he will not see it that way. So we can't fool ourselves continually. Time is of the essence. Let's move to my second topic. Are Liberian people unified? Where is the unity among Liberian people? Where is that cohesion? We never had it. Liberia never had a unifying objective based on principles. We've never had that. We have united around individuals, around principalities and power, but we've never united around ideals that we ourselves appreciated and love. No, we have never done that because our country is not literate enough to do that. I can just make a general statement on that. That as long as the majority of my people remain illiterate and uneducated, we have not arrived. We have not arrived to consciousness lifting of our country and people. So it can't fall on the foreigners. That's what I told you. When I see foreigners feeding my people, it hurt me because of the responsibility of my government and people to take care of our own. So we can't take care of our own. And when you can't take care of your own, you are a failed nation. You are a failed people. You got to take care of your own. You got to be able to feed your own and clothe your own. If you can't, you are a failed nation. And this is what we are again. Same point with unification. Same point with integration. Because we have to show some form of equity. Equitability among our people. We must show some form of fairness. Everything can't be fair. We know that. Even if the government want to take your land on an eminent domain, some people will find it not fair. Somebody, why you can't do that? Why you do that to other man? Why you want to take my property? What about him? What about him? Everywhere. But if it got to be done, it's got to be done. But that's why there are laws and rules to do certain things. So we are protected against hurting other people. And other people are protected against government. And that's why the Constitution guarantees the individual certain rights and privileges that the government is compelled to protect as well. And one of them is eminent to me. The government can't just come and take your property. Yes, they can do it. I won't say they can't come and take your property. They can come and take your property, but they got to give you fair compensation. They got to treat you fairly, but you can't stop it. If it's the need of the government, it's the need of the government. So these are the things we fear, and I tell you, everything is equitable, but not equal. Because there are certain things you may not find fair that the government may have to do. You see, even in America, at the border, some people ready to fight the government. They ready to fight physically fight the federal government troops to keep their property because they believe it's unfair to them. They've been owning the property for centuries. While all of a sudden they got to give it up. But these are the things we face. And when we try to build a unified people and nation, we need to be equitable. How can we be equitable? There's one institution in our nation that affords equitability, that affords freedom to the individual, that affords a legal remedy, and that is our judiciary. That is the courts. You see how the courts saving America today too? Now they're telling the judges, hey, you can't be bringing frivolous cases now. We'll start punishing you. That's responsibility. At a certain time, as a leader, you gotta know enough is enough. And things must be curbed, or else they will run out of control. It's the same thing with laws. It's the same thing with rules. It's the same thing with everything in our society. These are the things that keep us united and together. But the more we play on these rules and precedents of society and governance, the more our people will lose hope and confidence in the government. Because government is looked upon as a unifier through the implementation of the Constitution. That's the sole objective of the executive, to fulfill the Constitution. And in fulfilling its Constitution, it needs fair play. Because everybody not fair. Everybody don't think about everybody. And that's what the Constitution considers. And the Constitution, the framers understood that for us to stay united, we must meet the standards of rules. We must meet the standards of discipline. We must meet the standards of a wholesome functioning society. And that is why our judiciary is the foundation of maintaining our democracy and maintaining unity among Liberian people. Because if the courts not there and strong, our country will fail. And this is why we are in the situation we are in today. Because the legal-minded people of our country are just as corrupt as the Zogos in the street. And when we have these things, when our people can rise up and question our judiciary, can question the rules and laws just by looking at them on their faces and how the judiciary carry on their business, and people lose faith in the courts. And when they lose faith in the courts, they have no place to redress. They have no system to look at the problems fairly and come out with laws that are founded on legal grounds of fairness, impartiality. But when our judiciary go and make laws and take actions that the public begin to question time and time again, like this NEC situation, how we handle the NEC situation back and forth, it becomes a deliberate act of failure on the part of the government. And once the people lose confidence in the trust and confidence they repose in our leaders, they become a serious problem. It becomes a very serious problem, because then that leads to civil disobedience, civil unrest. Because if our people don't believe in the leadership, don't believe that the government will fairly address their needs, there can be no peace in the society. And the only governmental institution that guarantees that is our judiciary. And once our judiciary is strong and viewed as fair and consistent, whatever the other branches do, the people can always rest on the fact that the judiciary is fair. We can listen to Yeke Koloba, listen to Koloba, all the things are busy. I don't care. The temple justice is my house. This is the place I bring everything. That's how it's supposed to be. That's how it's supposed to be. The final arbiter. When the court says something, it's held to standards of high integrity and rule of law. Because the court will not bend. The court will not shake. And what is the law? It's the law. So right now we keep hearing that the three branches of government in George we are pocket. Three branches of government in George. How can the people continue to repose their trust and confidence in the we-are-led government? This is the same thing that caused Toba to fall. This is the same thing that caused Joe to fall. And these are the same things that may lead to we-are failure. The state has failed. Our people are not united. Unity has left us because our leaders cannot be trusted. And this is where we are, my people. Time and time again, we end here. Then we go to my third point, the Congau-Country divide. All of this stems from the two first points I said. When the majority failed, Lobo said the same thing. From 1980, 40 years to today, what has the native government done to change Liberia? What has the native leadership done to lift the lives of our people to another level? Nothing. Because we all the same. Like I said, 1980 to today, we got to see Emmanuel Shaw, we got to see Archie Bernard, we got to see all these people still living and participating in our government. Then you'll say we're different? How the hell we different? Huh? They see Archie Bernard were advisor to do that the same man advising we are today. They see Emmanuel Shaw was a rogue on and do. He's the same rogue on this man today. They see Ellen Johnson Sally was a snitch and a freaking wicked woman on a top. She's still a freak and a wicked woman today. So what has changed? Where is the Congau-Country divide? Where is that? You got united people stealing from our government the same way. You got the same bunch of people still since 1980 to today calling themselves progressives. Where's the Congau-Country divide? It's all bullshit. They play that thing on our indigenous people who don't know any better. That's what Lobo was telling you. It's all BS. And our country people better wake up. There's no Congau-Country divide. It's rogue, old rogues and new rogues. That's all the divide in our country. Two rogues fighting. The old rogues still won't come into the new rogues, and the new rogues trying to block the old rogues. It's all rogues. Rogues. It's not about no Congo ethnic divide or traditional divide or country divide. No. They don't fall in the trap of these people. We're not divided. These people dividing us. Because the more they divide us on this Congo and Country BS, the more they are able to enrich themselves individually and keep the rest of us silent on stories like, I will honor my father and mother. I won't honor my mother, that 10 commandment. That we stay stupid. You try that stupid thing with us, McGill. You already in hot water. You're already on the jail list and flogging. What's wrong with you? Now you better wake up, man, because I'm tired with it. I am tired with this foolishness. I'm tired with the people showing deceitfulness right in front of us, and we're fighting among ourselves while they're stealing everything. The time of the Liberian people is now. Let me guide you. Let me lead you into the new era so we can fuck these rules. These people who have made all of us suffer on BS, we can fuck them and straighten up our country forever and ever. Amen. My class is done. Have a good day.